Hey guys, Al here. I'm gonna do a video just to show 2021 soil sample. Just gonna talk about one food plot here. This is ridge plot. Obviously, this is ideal. 4.2 drop down there, 5.1, 6.1. However, what's more important to me is that I added a little bit of lime here. This was a cleared, so we cleared this with a dozer. I added some lime, and it's holding fairly well. So I added in 2020 lime and wood ash, and it's holding here pretty well. Obviously, a little bit of a variance in the CEC and a huge jump in OM. I mean, that's probably not sustainable to maintain that jump. And some of the things I'm finding out about organic matter and the way it's measured, in my opinion, I'm far from an expert, but it seems really variable. I mean, there's a lot of kind of moving parts to how it's measured, and if a system isn't calibrated, or if the heat, if somebody lets it dry for, say, overnight, well, is overnight 12 hours, is overnight 16 hours, you know, do they have a couple cups of coffee in the morning before they go get it out of the oven? Is the oven temperature a true 400, or is it degrees, or is it, you know, a little bit hotter, a little bit colder? And then, of course, they put it in a furnace after that to burn everything off. And, you know, is that temperature the same within every lab? Does every technician do it the same, etc.? So what I'm starting to learn is I'm starting to put more of a focus on the actual observational piece of the soil. So what does it look like? You know, are aggregates holding it together, the color, etc. And I can't take credit for this. I called a couple buddies who are biologists and had long conversations with them kind of about what their thoughts were, and they kind of helped guide me there. But I want to make sure that this is at least within a normal range. So I would say anywhere from my area, 3 to 6% organic matter is pretty good. Anything above 4, I would say, is really good. And when you start to get to 5 to 6% organic matter in eastern Ohio, you're in really good shape. So this field, I'm going to put a wild guess here and say it's probably closer to 4.7 or something like that if you took a running average, or if I took it multiple times throughout the year, it would probably vary slightly. But what I'm happy about is, and overall, I've not added much to this field at all, except a little bit of lime and wood ash last year, and it's been really showing a good sign. I'll show you one more. So this one here is another example. Well, I guess I can show two more. So this one here, pine plot. This is on top of a ridge. Nothing has been added to this soil. The pH though has held steady since 2016. I have not had to add lime. So this is just tremendous success in my opinion. I have not added any fertilizer since 2016. So in 5 years, the OM has jumped around a bit, but again, like I said, I'm not overly concerned because I think it's quite variable, in my opinion, on kind of how it's tested. So I'll continue to monitor it, but as long as I'm in that healthy range, above 3, I don't know why that year went down. That might have been the last year I tilled this particular plot. I wish I would have took better notes of which plots I tilled when. But since then, I have not, and continue to use diverse mixes, this year being the most diverse mix. And what you see here is, you know, went from 4.5 to 3.6 to 4.5 up to 6.3. 2020, I had several tests that came back with some really large jumps. Like you can see this double stand here too, 3.2 to 5.1, then it was 4, then 3.2. So I'm really questioning, again, you know, the lab and the consistency of that OM reading. But again, I'm more happy about what does the soil look like. Now, these two particular plots, I do know I need to do some work on. These fields are, double stand's a little bit clay. Pine, quite honestly, this is such a small little field. It just needs more sunlight at this point. The trees have grown up around it. So hopefully I'm going to clear cut this. And this will end up being a pretty nice 1 or 2 acre field someday. But all in all, I mean, without adding any additional nutrients or fertilizers to these fields, the nutrients are holding. I mean, 59, okay, dropped a little bit, dropped from 2 years previously, but I mean, everything else, I mean, this actually had a little bit of an increase. This had a slight increase as well. So everything was kind of in that medium to adequate range as far as nutrients in the soil go, as what we know about soil testing, at least traditional methods. It doesn't show everything that's actually bioavailable, but everything that is available per that soil test. So you could kind of go down a rabbit hole of researching the Haney test. But this is just kind of a quick update. I wanted to show you guys on how the soil is testing at. Again, I'm very happy. My organic matter I have 2 that are below 4. Everything else is above 4 on 9 different fields, which I'm very happy about. And nothing, I need 1 field that I'll have to add a little bit of lime to. The pH came back low. Everything else is right around between 6.5 and 7, and has not had lime in multiple years except Ridge, which I just showed you, that field there. And one other one I believe I had added lime to last year. I'll have to review my notes, but very minimal lime usage, which I used to be putting down. I mean, I think I did 8 tons in 1 year, and have not had to add additional lime, or not very much at all. So I've really reduced the salt load on the soil, which is great. Have not added fertilizer yet. I'm holding nutrients. The crop growth, as you guys have seen, was phenomenal last year without any additional input. So just exciting to kind of see that things are staying consistent. And I think now that I'm adding much more diversity than I have in the past, it's going to put myself in a situation to continue to now increase the fertility of this soil. And I might do 2 soil samples next spring and send them to 2 different labs and see what kind of differences I get in results. But overall, hopefully you guys found this informative and you can take something away from it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along.